Tell me if you have any questions on the topics which we have discussed so far before going to start the session.
I think we already discussed.
Okay, pretty good. Okay. So I think we are taking too much of time on Java. Let's quickly get into the topics. Then we'll wind up. So we have discussed so far, what are the topics we have discussed? We have discussed all basic concepts and object-oriented programming concepts. And we have discussed about how to create interfaces and abstract classes, right? And then what else we have discussed? We have discussed control statements and all we have discussed, and then we have discussed how to use super keyword, method overloading, method overriding, and garbage collection, and then so on, right? So I just want to explain one more keyword called final. What is this final keyword? Okay, we are using anyway, but I just want to give you more details about final keyword. What is final keyword? So as I told you, final is ideally used to define a constant values. Okay, so the final keyword can be a variable or method or a class. Okay, it might be a variable, method, or class. So final variables are as I told you, these are actually constants. We cannot change the value of a final variable once it is initialized. Once we have initialized, we can't change it. Okay, best example I will quickly show you if I have a demo. I'll create quickly one. Okay, just right click, go to new, go to class, create class. Okay, it's a main method. Done. Okay. See, I just want to create a final key, final variable, final. That's all. Final integer. Okay. So I can say, pin code. Pin code can't be changed, right? You know, right? Pin code of the place cannot be changed. Okay. So it might be anything else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And then we can simply say void. There's I'm just declaring one more method void. Okay, sample method. Okay, so I try to change the value. Please try to understand the behavior of this variable. So since it is a private variable, you can access inside the class. Okay, so I just want to change it actually, not doing any thing over here. See, automatically get an error because the final field cannot be assigned. Once it is assigned, we cannot reassign. That we should know actually. And the public static void main method. Inside that, I just want to call this method. Okay, so see. Okay, obj equals to. Okay, I mean it doesn't allow, first of all, you can't reassign the value. Okay, so okay, one thing. So final variables cannot be changed. Cannot change the values. Okay, values. Fine. Okay, coming to for suppose I just want to define a blank final variable. Blank means you are not as initialized at the time of declaration. At the time of declaration, you are not assigned. That is called actually blank final variable. You can see final integer. Okay, integer Yeah, we can simply float y equals to 3.17. Okay, this is how we use actually, right? But here, just use it. Still, see, these are actually final blank variables. They are not initialized at the time of declaration. Then we call it the final blank final variables. We must initialize the blank final variable in a constructor. In a constructor, you have to initialize. Okay. So this is a keyword, right? Class of the name is keyword. Just Control C. Okay, Control V. Okay, I equals to 3.17. Done. See, now error is gone. So final blank final variables can be used. Actually, these are actually final blank variables. Yeah, variables can be used. But you have to initialize it when we are declaring constructor. Otherwise, it throws an error. Okay. So when do you use this final blank variables? When do you use actually? Okay. When do you use? You know, right? Car will be there. Car must have a registration number. When we register, actually, whenever you go for RTO, then only you will get a number. Clear? Clear? So we create a class called car, but initially, do you have a number? Registration number? No. Whenever you register the car, then only you will get a the number. And one more thing, once it is registered, it is a lifelong. The same number will be there. In such scenarios, what we do actually, we have a class. Inside that, we have a blank final variable. But whenever you create initialization script, then only it will assign. Okay. So registration number should not be changed once the car is registered. So in that scenario, what we can do, we can declare it as a final blank variable. Okay, but we cannot initialize. Okay, we can create a final blank variable, but we cannot initialize because initially we don't know the registration number. Okay, so we cannot initialize the registration number. In such cases, what you can do, we can declare a registration variable as a blank final, and then we can initialize the value during the object creation. During the object creation, we initialize. That's all. Very simple. Okay. So this we can say float. Okay, pi number. Okay, can simply say pi number. Okay. So this is actually, you can simply pass 3.17, 3.17. Yeah, done. That's it. Okay. So this is how we can actually create and use a final blank variables. Okay. So what is actually static final then? Static final variables that are not initialized during the declaration can only be initialized in the static block. Okay. If you create a final static, say I'm just creating a one more variable called static final. Okay, some number, integer, registration number. That's it. Okay, you got an error because not initialized, not assigned, cannot may not be initialized. So what you can do if that's such scenarios, what you can create a static block. Static inside the block we can initialize. How to initialize a register underscore number equals to some number. Done. Okay. So you can still use blank static final variables, but during the declaration, okay, I mean we have to create a static block. Inside a static block, we have to assign. Here, coming to final method. Final method cannot be overridden. Please remember this. We can have a final method, no issues, but we cannot override it. Why? The name itself is telling is the final implementation. We cannot change any kind of logic of the method. Okay, the basic essence of final keyword is we cannot change the value. It might be a variable, it might be a method. If it is a method, we cannot change the implementation. If it is a variable, we cannot change the value. That is the meaning of final keyword. Hence, if it is a final method, we cannot override. Okay, even though a subclass can call the final method of the parent class without any issue, but it cannot override it. But we cannot override it. Clear? Okay.
One question. This I did not understand. This static block, the static final.
Static what? Yeah. Nothing actually. The keyword, whenever you use a static keyword and spiral brackets, right, all the variables will become static by final by default. Okay.
But why we could not initialize there in front of registration number in the declaration?
Yes, yes, of course we can initialize. Can initialize? Who said we can't initialize? We can initialize. But for suppose if you don't want to initialize, we can create a static block. Inside a block only you have to initialize.
Okay. And what do we mean by here static final? First, this value cannot be changed, and second, the object cannot be created. No, we cannot
Yes,
use this with an object.
yes. Okay.
And to
Static, we know
access this,
static is a
we
class level variable. Okay. So
yeah.
final means once it is assigned, we cannot change. Once it is assigned, but we cannot change.
Any example like real life example for where we use this static final?
You know, in Selenium script itself, we use right public static web driver. Why we are using actually once it is defined, we don't want to reassign the value because that is going to be the ultimate variable whenever you are going to refer in a different classes, right?
Yeah.
Correct. So that's the application of public static final also. Final means once it is assigned, we cannot change. Simply just remember it is a constant variable. Constant means can you change constant variables? Pi equal to 3.17. Can you change the value? It's a universally acceptable value. Okay, pi is this is a acceptable value. We can't change. Even if you change, actually logically it is wrong. And so if you want to create any constant variables which never change at all, then we have to use a final keyword.
Okay. So static we use when we uh, don't want to create objects. Is it?
Correct, correct, correct. Okay.
Yeah.
Then coming to what happened? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little cold.
Yeah. It's raining here also. Should be
Yeah.
careful. Yeah. Okay. So now
We
coming
have
to, as
final
I told
methods.
you, yeah. Pardon me.
Yeah, final methods also, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we are going to discuss that final method.
Yeah. Final method. Final method, as I told you, we cannot override the final method. Once it is declared, we cannot override. Okay. I'll just give you. Okay. I will create one more class. Okay. XYZ. Inside this, we have a final. Okay. Void. Okay. Or display. System. Alpha. Hello. This is display of XYZ class. That's done. Okay. So I just want to override. How to override? Okay. Extends. Okay, XYZ. Inside XYZ, I just want to override the class. How to override? You can simply use a void. Okay. Display. Okay. Set this system until now. Diaplay, that is actually there is small mistake. Okay. Yeah. What an error. Okay. Fine. Keyword demo class. Okay. See, got an error automatically anyway. Okay. Display. You can understand the difference between yeah. Here also I'm going to change the actually display. Okay. What's the error? Error is we cannot override. See, cannot override the final method. So these are actually basic rules. We cannot override because they are final. Final in nature means they are constants. So once it is a make the variable or method constant, we cannot change. We cannot change. Okay. And similarly, class also. If you make a class as a final, we cannot actually extend it because of permanent. Okay. Just create final class. Okay, ABC. Okay. This is ABC. Just look at it, ABC. I try to extend ABC, you'll get an error automatically. You see? Okay. Cannot subclass the final class ABC. Okay. So first rule is final classes cannot be extended. Okay. Final methods cannot be overridden. Right. Done. Okay. Right. Any questions? Tell me quickly.
No.
Okay. So this is all about final keyword. Okay. Final method, final variable, and final class. Okay. Yeah. Coming to we'll look into that actually. Okay. One more thing you want to discuss, right? What is that? Yeah, strings. Yesterday you are just asking for strings, right? I'll create strings quickly. Oh, we have final keyword demo. Oh, just now we have created fine, right? Okay. So I click go to new. Okay. So string. Okay, class. Okay. Let's click quiet by name there. Yeah. So what is string actually? String is nothing but a sequence of characters that we know already. For suppose if you create some world, hello world something. So it consists of around 7 to 10 characters. Okay. We can actually in Java, string is a immutable object. What is immutable? Mutable, immutable.
Cannot be modified.
Yes. In Python, you might have heard about this actually. Mutable, immutable. Okay. Immutable means we cannot actually, it's a constant, we cannot change. Okay. Cannot be changed once it has been created. So that is nothing but immutable. Okay. So we'll see first how to use the string. In Java, string can be created any way actually. Like this, we can create string and string variable and then equal to symbol and assign some value. Okay. And if you assign, what is the problem? Okay. String is an object. String is basically class. Whenever you create a string and str1 or str2, it automatically create an object. Okay. We actually cannot create any object by simply saying that a new keyword. Okay. Ideally, how do you create this object of this class? Just use Control C. Okay. C, Control V. Okay. OVJ, Control V equals to new we use, right? To create object. Okay. New we use. Okay. See, for suppose if it's a string. Okay. What is string? String. What is string actually? Name. Right. What is string? Here you see. String is basically a class. Can you create a object for a string with a new keyword? No, we can't create. Okay. We cannot create any string object using a new keyword. Okay. Compiler basically does not does the task for us to create a string object having the string literal. Okay. So you no need to use a new keyword. So for suppose if the object already exists in the memory, it does not create a new object, rather than it reassigns the same old object to the new instance. Okay. So compiler only creates a string object and assign the same to the okay, if there are two instances out there, you try to copy one instance to another instance, it does not create a new object. The compiler only creates a string object and assign the same to the both the instances. Okay, so how to use a new keyword then? I just want to use a new keyword exclusively. How to use it actually? We can still use a new keyword, but suppose here inside this we just create a string, string string. We can say string is okay, district name equals to new string, okay, of, okay, you can pass it actually, it might be Pune, whatever it is. Done. Okay, right, we try to assign the same string object to the two different literals. Okay, but suppose there is another value, string first name. Okay, first name. Okay, here you can simply use, okay, name equals to first name. Yeah, see, cannot make a static reference to the non-static field name, just make a name to static. Okay, this also you have to make it to static. That's fine. Okay, then we can assign. See, in this case, what happened, it does not create a two memory locations for a name and first name. Okay, because we are not using new keyword. Whenever you use a new keyword, then only compiler will allocate some memory to the object. Both are not objects, they're actually literals. Okay, literal means it simply creates some variable, but memory does not allocate. Okay, whenever you initialize or assign the value, then only it will allocate some memory. Okay, so you have few questions, right? When you are creating a character and how to assign these values and all. How to do that actually? We can create a string str equals to anything actually. You can simply say, okay, ctrl, yeah, something. Okay, done. Okay, string. Yeah. Okay. So we have created a string by using a Java string literal. This is actually Java string literal. Okay. So what's the next actually? I just want to create a character. Okay. I can give any okay, string one. Yeah, this is array. Okay. Inside this, I just want to, okay, hello H E. Okay, and E L O. Oh, okay, fine. This is enough. Okay. Right. Okay, so I have created a character okay, character type array. I just want to convert a character array, okay, into a string. How to convert? Simply you'll create a string, and then any variable actually, you can take any variable actually, string 2, okay, equals to string 2 equal to new of string of, okay, str1. That's all. Str1 automatically it will convert the entire array into string type. Okay, and automatically it converts into string type. Okay, we will create another Java string. Okay, we'll create another Java string by using a new keyword. We can create a new Java string str3 equals to new string of, we can directly assign the value actually ctrl. Yeah. Okay, so like this you can display. I just try to print all these things actually. System dot out.
I have a question here.
Yeah, tell me.
Like you said, we cannot create a string object with new keyword.
No. I
Right?
don't tell actually. We can create a string object with new. I mean, there are multiple ways to define a string variable. One is One is throw literal notation. Literal notation means we don't use any new keyword. Have used new keyword actually here?
No.
Have used no new keyword here? This is nothing but a notation of literal, string literal. There is another way.
I
It is a class type. We can use a new keyword to create a class of type string. Yeah. Now tell me your question.
Yeah, I did not understand that name is equals to first name. What we did there? You explain something static. We have to put static there
Line number.
in the first two lines, first two three lines.
Yeah, these are actually class level variables, right? These are class level variables, right? See, these are private
Yes,
variables. That is the reason we have to add a static.
but normally we
Whenever you
don't add
create
static.
after class keyword, what happens? They actually have a scope of class. That is the reason we have to add static, public static, right?
But if we can remove static, then also fine, right? There is no necessity to add static in front of string.
See, we got an error. We can't initialize, cannot make a static reference to the non-static field first name. Okay. So this is first name, right? We are trying to assign to the name.
Yeah.
Because until unless you make static, we can't assign. You can't assign.
But don't know. But I could not understand that one.
No, nothing
Why we
actually.
cannot?
Strings, whatever you are just assigning, right? What happens if you don't assign any value? By default, it will take null values, right?
Yeah.
If you don't have any value assigned, automatically by default, it will take null value. But you just take a main method. What is the scope of the main method? Static, actually. Static method can access only static variables until unless you assign some value.
Okay.
Got
But
it?
that okay. That's why this name is equals to first name is not. But if we create object, for example, string class demo dot first name is equals to string class demo dot first name, will it work? If you
Where? Which line? Can you tell me once again?
yeah, since it's a class variable, right? So if we create object of string class demo in main method, and with that object, if we try to write the statement obj dot name is equals to obj dot first name, if we create an obj object for string class demo,
So we
then
have
we can
already
write
created Control C
yes. So yeah,
system
dot
dot out dot
name.
println of the value of name uh, is, yeah, of course, actually you can simply create obj string class, sorry, I'll copy it better. Okay, so this one, okay, right, I'll take this Control C. They're actually class level variables, right? We can, of course, you can use it. See,
No, I mean to say that assignment statement that you use on line number 11, can we write that with obj class demo dot name is equals to obj class demo dot first name? Is it? Then we don't have to use static, right?
yes, of course, of course. See, you want to say Control C, okay, and then I'm just going to copy it, cut it, Control V. You want to say, okay, we can directly use object, yeah, of course, you can say Control dot name, Control V dot, okay.
Okay, yeah. And
After
you said
instantiating the object, we can use it, but without instantiating, we can't use it because it's a static method. Static method can access static variable. Static method.
and you said strings are immutable.
Yes, immutable.
So
Yes,
what does that mean?
immutable means we
Technically, what?
cannot change the value. See here, we have a Control A software technologies, right? We just use
Yeah.
Control C. Okay, let's go over here. Control V equals to, okay, just some XYZ. See, okay, immutable means we try to change it actually. So yeah, let's see. run as Java application. Okay. So string, the name is string.
Yeah, it works fine, looks like.
Basically, string is an immutable object. That means it is a constant, cannot be changed once it is created. So that means if you create a object, okay, it's actually literal, right? Can you take this one, str3? Okay,
Yeah.
it is object. str3, control C, control V, control S, just right click, run as Java application. So, okay. This is still, it is taking control as software technologies. But that is nothing but a strings are immutable. Strings are immutable. Yeah. Nothing actually. Once you, while creating the object, you create you assign some string, right? The same string only it will take. Even though if you change later, it does not. That is nothing but immutable.
But then it does not work that with when we assign directly with literals.
If it is a literal, it will work. It's not object. It's just a variable. Strings can be created in two ways. One is through Java string literal annotation. Other one is you can create string using a object. Okay, since it's a string is a class, we can create a strings using an object also by using a new keyword. If you use a new keyword, strings are immutable. That means if you have created an object with some value, and again if you try to change it, it does not reflect the latest changes. It still take the old values only. Okay, clear?
Yeah. So that string str literal is not an object then it's pointing to it that same object every time then if we reassign
Yes,
it.
yes, yes,
Yeah. That's why it's one.
yes, yes. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
okay. So it refers the same object. Okay. So automatically, even if you try to change, okay, it does not work. Okay. So very simple. String is a immutable object. If you create using a new keyword, that means it is a constant. We cannot change once it has been created. Once it has been created, we have already created here. We cannot change. It does not, because the string is immutable. Then which doubt you have? Last time you told we have a few doubts that we are discussing at a string level. What is that? See, string has so
The
many
type.
methods. Okay. So
Yeah.
we have a character at equals to, equals, ignore case, and compare to, we can compare two strings, we can split the string. We can check whether it starts with and ends with, okay, and just want to check the index value of the particular character in the string. Okay. You just want to know, okay, substring of the entire string. Okay. And we can also check, I mean, we can concatenate two strings. Concatenate means adding, that's all. Okay, and then replace the string with another. So many methods are there. You can have a method called contains, check whether a particular character is there or not in the string. Okay, and converting string to uppercase, string, converting the string to lowercase. Okay, so many methods are there with respect to string. So many methods are there. Split is one of the very important method. Split means you have to provide a delimiter. Automatically, the entire string will be split into different array. Entire, I mean, the whole string is split into different set of strings and automatically stored into string array type. Okay, and then we can trim the array, left trim, right trim, and so on. Is that right? Trimming, if there are any white spaces, it simply remove all those white spaces between and after the string. Okay.
Yeah, in our script, what are the most common methods we use, or maybe the one which are so challenging to implement? String
Nothing
methods.
challenge is very simple. String is a very simple class. You should know how to use, that's all. Okay, very frequently
Okay.
we use split. Split method is one of the method we use very frequently. Okay.
Okay. And for example, there is a value on the website which is uh, string. Everything is string, but then we need to use it as integer or float or a character in our script to use the function. So how can we do that? For example, if we read that keyword or a text as a string in our script, and then we have to use that method, but we cannot use that method till the time we take it to the original form. For example,
Okay.
integer. So how
Hmm.
to do that?
See, as we know, string cannot be converted into integer because string is different, integer is different. But if it is
Yeah.
a character, we can convert. Okay. If it is a character, but suppose character is there here. I just want to show you character. Okay. So some ch equals to, I'm just giving some very value here. Okay. I just want to convert. Okay. So byte, how many character, how many memory spaces it will occupy? Okay,
Two.
1 byte, 1 to 2 bytes only it will occupy. Or suppose integer num. Okay. So I just giving a ch. What happens? Tell me. Tell me. It basically occupies, if it is an integer type, it occupies 4 bytes. Okay. But character occupies only 2 bytes. That means it has a lower memory capacity and integer type has a higher memory capacity. If that is the case, we can convert. You can convert. Okay. So how do you convert?
Okay.
So this is nothing but implicit conversion. This is actually implicit conversion. Typecasting, you can simply say typecasting. Typecasting means converting one data type to another data type. Okay. It automatically happens. Automatic conversion. You no need to apply any logic over it. Okay. So you can simply say Control C. Just go here. Control V and num. Okay. Control S. Okay. Just run this program. See, 65. Right? Correct? So similarly, if you want to do explicit typecasting, you can do that actually. That is actually explicit typecasting. Okay, how to do explicit typecasting? Okay, we have to convert the number into character type. Okay, see, explicit typecasting is required. No automatic conversion happens. Okay, when it is required, when we are trying to converting a higher data type into lower data type. Higher data type into lower data type, you need to explicitly convert it. We have to do explicit typecasting. Okay, convert higher data, higher okay data type to lower data.
Yeah.
Okay, this is explicit type conversion. Okay, so how to do this? Actually very simple. Again, just create an integer number equals to some okay 250 something, and then I try to convert this into okay character. Okay, character 1. Okay, character 1 equals to okay char of number. That's all. Okay, so this has to be enclosed with parentheses. That's it. Okay, this is explicit type conversion. It should be instead of number one, and this is number 1. That's it. Okay, so try to print this value again and check. Control C. This is yes. Okay, right, done. Yeah. Okay. Now tell me what's the output you will get if you run this program. Okay.
Some
So
little.
run as Java application. Okay. See you. Okay. Clear?
Yeah.
So what is this? It is not even you. There's a special character like cap. Okay. So the ASCII value of this character is 250. ASCII value of A is 65. These are ASCII values. Okay. It simply converts character into integer, integer into character. So converting character to integer is much easier for compiler because character occupies only 2 bytes, but integer occupies 4 bytes. Okay. Hence conversion is very simple. Automatic conversion will take place. That is nothing but implicit typecasting. If you try to convert higher data type to lower data type, or suppose integer to float, it is really very difficult because integer occupies only 4 bytes, but float requires 8 bytes. Okay. So automatically again you have to do explicit typecasting. First of all, it is integer. Okay, I'm just use float. Okay, float. Now f number 1 equals to, and simply as a number 1. Does it cause any issues? No. Okay. So again, if you use integer number 2 equals to f number 1. Okay, you got an error again because float to integer does not allow. Got it? Integer to float, that is allowed, but again, float to integer does not allow. Again, we have to typecast. Okay. Integer. Okay. F number 1. That's it. See, now it allowed. Okay. Higher to lower is easy. Automatic typecasting will take place. But try to convert from lower to higher, it requires explicit typecasting. Okay, hope
So what
you
about
are
string?
clear.
Yeah.
String also.
How can we use this?
String is there actually. Character ch equal to a. Okay, you just want to assign some string.
Because string is an object, right? So
str1 equals to ch. Okay. See, it does not allow. First of all, see, duplicate. Oh, str1 already there. Okay. Str2 will use. Str11 will use. Okay. string string. Okay. See. Okay. So what you have to do? We have to again change the ch to string. Then only it will allow. It doesn't. Otherwise, it does not allow because string is a class. It's not a what you call literal type.
yeah.
So what you can do, we have to change this either to string. So they are given two sessions here. One is change type of str11, that is string type to character, or a change type of ch to string type. Then only it will allow. Okay. So I'm just converting into string type. So it does not allow. Even we can do explicit typecasting also not possible. Not possible. Okay. But suppose similarly the same condition, if you take, just remove it off. Okay. So character we have already. So I'm just converting a string, right? We have string str3. str3 is there. Character str33 equals to str3. So again we got an error. We are trying to convert string to character, highly impossible. Okay. So we have to convert either string, this str33 to string, or you have to convert str3 to character. Then only it will allow. Okay. Because string is a class type. All character, integer, float, and all actually literal data types. Okay.
Why it gave error in the above statement 44?
Where?
In 44 statement.
44. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, 44. 44, there's no error, right? It is a comment. 44
If you
or
remove
45?
that comment, then there 44. If you remove that comment, there was error, right?
Yeah, there is error. Of course, it is error.
Cannot cast from character to string.
Okay.
But
See, we can
why we
typecast. See, look at here. Here we have used a character array. Array can be typecasted. See, look at here. New string of str1. What is str1? str1 is a character type. Even the character type is array. That's the reason we are able to convert.
Okay.
Okay, but when you try to convert a character into string, either you have to convert a character to string or string to character, because character is a object. Sorry, string is an object. Character is a literal type. That's why.
So for integer also it goes the same. We cannot convert an integer to string.
Yes, of course. I will give one more example. Okay, string we are using. Okay, str. Okay, yeah, str11 we can use. So str underscore a. Okay, equals to. I'm just giving 1, 2, 3, 4 something. Okay, I'm just giving this. Okay, strint. Okay, after that we just using integer. Okay, integer. Okay, so we just converting int string of a equals to. Okay, how do you convert basically? So there is a wrapper class. By using a wrapper class, there is a method called parseInt. We can we use a method called parseInt, pass the string to integer type. Okay, integer dot. This is a wrapper class parse. Okay, we can pass integer into string type. Okay, we just pass str underscore a. Okay, then go here and right. So just copy and print the value. Just check Control C, Control V. Okay, string underscore a, Control S. Run this program. You can see now how many errors are there. What is this one? Yeah, comment it. Okay. Proceed with launch. Yes. See, now it has taken an entire 1, 2, 3, 4 as an integer. See, look at here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Try to give a, Control A, just right click, just run this program again. Okay, just enter. See, we got an error because we can't parse character into integer. So you got an error. See, number format exception. Here we are using a wrapper class integer. First of all, the string should have a numeric value. Then only it can pass into this integer type. Otherwise, it can't pass. They are saying, right, there is some website, there is some numerical values there. I just want to convert that string into integer. Yes, of course we can convert, but we have to use a integer dot parse into. Can use this wrapper class called a integer method called parse into to parse a string as a signed integer number by using parse integer.
What
Okay,
you did now, you just added A, right? Alphabet A. That's why it gave error.
correct.
Okay.
So basically we can convert a string into an integer value. Okay, but when it is parsing using a parse integer, it should not have a character type. It should have only numeric values. Then only it will convert string to integer
Okay.
type.
Okay. Yeah. And exactly opposite, can we do that? Integer to string.
Integer to string. Integer to string. Okay, let me try. I never tried. Let me try. Okay, so we have integer.
Actually, I'm little confused now between typecasting and this parsing. When to use
See,
what?
typecasting is different. Typecasting basically, what is typecasting? Converting one data type to another data type. Only data type
Yes.
and literal type, not objects. Objects we can't convert. Okay, Even a string is an object. String is how can you say it is an object? String is a class type. That's the reason it's an object. If you create an object that's immutable string, that means you cannot change the value, one thing. Hence, we cannot assign objects to literal type, literal to object type. Hence, we cannot convert directly string to integer, integer to string. Okay, one thing, one rule. Second rule, coming to typecasting, we can convert, there are two types. One is implicit and another one is explicit. Implicit means compiler will take care. So when it will take care, that can convert a lower data type to higher data type, that will take care. If you try to convert a lower data type to higher data type, that does not take care. That at that time you have to go for a typecasting. Typecasting, you can simply use a literal data keyword. See, here we are using a literal data type called keyword called character to convert a number to characters. Okay, so this is nothing but explicit typecasting. Coming to wrapper classes, when there is a string, you want to convert the entire string into integer. Okay, that can be done by using a integer dot parse integer. Okay, we can use a.
So when you say that when we want to create uh, uh, class or class object, for example string, to
Yeah,
a primitive one which is integer, then we have to use this parsing.
correct.
Okay.
Correct. Okay.
So it goes for string to integer, string to anything is we have to parse.
Correct.
Okay. Clear.
So, but suppose there is a string. There is another very important method. String is there. Okay. str underscore b equals to some value. We are giving 1, 2, 3, A, B, C, and so on. We are giving. This is a string type, right? So I just want to convert. Okay, sorry. I just want to fetch. Okay. How to fetch actually? We can simply use integer. Okay. Int str underscore b equals to okay, integer dot okay value of can be value of str underscore b. So now tell me what's the output you will get.
212,
Yes,
2132,
it will throw no,
32
it will throw number format exception. Okay.
number format exception.
Yes. Okay. So what happens actually? Why? Because we have a numeric characters. Value of means it simply fetch the value. That's fine. See, go on the system dot out dot print ln of okay the value of str underscore b integer okay is plus int str underscore b. Okay, so there is no compilation error. There's no compilation error. So look at here, print prn. So control C, control X, control C. Just right click, run as. Okay, okay, I will comment this one also. Control S. Okay. Otherwise, I don't know to comment. I'll remove this. Control S. Okay. See. Okay. See, basically integer parse in base throws a number format exception. If you try to convert a string is not a valid conversion. If the string has a valid does not have a valid conversion into integer type, automatically you'll get a number format exception. Okay. Even if you try to use a value of also same, it automatically throw number format exception. It's actually compilation error you will get. Okay. Like this, we have so many methods are there. For suppose
This error we got for which statement? The last statement, 65. The error
65.
that we have.
Yeah, we are just printing the integer value. 213232. Okay. See, it does not throw any error now because it does not have any character. Only numeric values are there. If you have alphabets, automatically you get a exception. Okay. So basically, we can convert any type to another type. Either you can go for typecasting, implicit conversion, or explicit conversion, or you can go for a wrapper class, something like this, integer, parse, int, and so on. Okay.
Okay, just to be clear, so in the first statement, we converted string to integer, and in the second statement, what we did, integer value of, we converted, again it's string to integer, right?
Yeah, same.
It's same.
Both does the same only.
Okay.
So it basically returns integer object. Okay, yeah, I think one more student has joined. So let me know if you have any questions. Then we'll take it up and then we'll wind up for today.
Yeah, it's like when to use value of and when to use parseInt. ParseInt, I'm clear that when we want to change the type of that, then we have to use parseInt for typecasting. But then, what is difference
See,
between
here
that
you can see
parseInt and value?
parseInt basically passes a string argument as a signed decimal integer. Okay. So the characters in the string must be decimal digits. Okay. So, but coming to value of, see, it returns integer object. It returns along with the parsing, it returns integer object holding the value of the specified string. Okay. Basically returns the integer object. That's the only difference. So the argument which you are passing it, right? It is representing a single signed decimal integer. So it along with the value, it simply converts that object into the integer type. But coming to parseInt, it only passes the string argument and returns the string value. Okay. But you can ignore this for value of, but most of the time in testing we use parseInt. Not we never use that in testing. I mean, I never. But is the few wrapper class to convert one data type to other data type. Okay, it is already 8. Actually, I have to take another session. He's waiting.
Okay, I will read. I will read this. If I have question, I will let you know tomorrow.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah.
Okay, thank you.